Dunedin's iconic stadium has only one act booked for the next 18 months. Claire Sherwood is ZB's South Island News Director and has been across the story this morning. Claire, what's happening here? Is it you guys in Christchurch poaching all the gigs?
Well, I think it's fair to say that, Ryan, that our new stadium coming in April is obviously appealing to many international acts. We've already had the likes of Ed Sheeran confirming that he's coming here to Christchurch and not taking a stop in at Dunedin, which he has done previously. We knew this, and we've been talking about this for some time. While, lots in Christchurch and elsewhere in the country have been excited about the new Te Kaha Stadium, there has been plenty of questions about what that will mean for Dunedin. Of course, Forsyth Barr Stadium was a winner in some aspects out of what we lost in the Christchurch earthquakes in terms of them taking all of the big rugby matches, the tests, and many of those large music acts. Whenever they chose to come to the South Island, Forsyth Barr was their only option. We've been in touch with Venues Dunedin Chief Executive Paul Dawn to say, look, what is the situation? We've been watching the schedule closely. At the moment, they have a Hot Wheels monster truck show booked in for late this month. And then there is a beer festival booked in for Forsyth Barr Stadium in November. Beyond that, there is nothing in terms of large acts. There's some small cricket matches and so on there, but nothing large in terms of acts there. Paul Dawn acknowledges that it is a tough time for Dunedin. He does say, though, that there's some conversations happening in the background with promoters, and he's remaining confident and optimistic that things will be okay next year. But it's certainly one to watch, given Te Kaha Stadium here in Christchurch is on schedule to open in April.
And what about your noise limits? Council's talking about the noise in Christchurch, this is.
Well, yeah, speaking of events and the stadium, there is currently a proposal to increase the central city noise limit here in Christchurch from the current 60 decibel LAEQ, that's a measure of continuous sound, to bump it up to 65. Now, our City Council a couple of months ago now opened public consultation on that because, surprisingly, there was a lot of toing and froing about whether or not that should be done. Of course, there's lots of residential property moving into the CBD and around the stadium, which will largely be lived in, but also Airbnb accommodation for the stadium events. There are concerns that the higher noise limit would have an impact on those residents. That said, the likes of, Andre Moore, who is the Horswell councillor who's responsible for the events portfolio, he says it would be simply embarrassing for the city to have spent so much money on a new stadium and then for there not to be live music or any ability for people to go to a rugby match and then head to a bar and enjoy some music. So he really wants to see it bumped up. 87% of people who have given feedback agree with him. They want it bumped up. Let's get noisy.
Yeah, have a party. Claire, thank you very much for that. Claire Sherwood, ZB's South Island News Director.